Today on Yeti at Large, we go over some modifications, some accessories, and a few punch list items, but not before we've had breakfast.
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
Now some of y'all may put ketchup on your hash browns, and good on you. But here at Yeti at Large, we use hand-canned salsa. This is back from May. Look at the link below. Well there, we're properly fueled up and motivated. A word of caution. Always consult the owner's manual. Read every label thoroughly before operating any system or device. Don't do anything that would jeopardize your warranty or your service contracts that you may have on your unit. That being said, you're going to see that we did a lot of real little things that just improve the livability without tearing into any of the systems. And we've added a bunch of accessories. So this is our water in system to the RV. We start with a brass splitter, so I always have spare water to wash and rinse with, and I can shut it off here as a safety measure. I've got a good dialable regulator to get 50 pounds of water coming into the camper. Then I got a meter where I can count the water coming in. That's super helpful filling the tanks and getting an estimate of what you're using. And then I have a large sediment and pre-filter. This doesn't create drinkable water, but it sure does a lot to get you to much better water. I bought a 6-pack of these, and I've read on there the amount of gallons they're supposed to use. So once the counter tells me when this is done, I may get rid of it. And then I got a flex line. This will go to our drinkable water hose and then into our Nautilus closet, where I have a brass 90 at a slight kick to go around this rip handle right here. And that takes the pressure off of what I consider to be a gentle plastic component here. I got the cap in the up position. This is fairly snug with a fresh gasket. The hose should be able to go around and then drop out the bottom. I may try to figure out a way to put a little horn or a hook so that the hose isn't pulling on this and creating stress here. Someday when we get a water filtration system, we'll mount it there, run PEX up and over, and plumb it to the Nautilus cabinet. As we stand in the plumbing kit right now, I have a spare regulator, and I also have a reader just to test the pedestal if I want. I have a spare elbow. You saw that hooked up on my Nautilus cabinet. This stops from torquing out those threads in the Nautilus cabinet and gets the hose on a 90-degree down. I inventory some food grade plumber's valve grease, silicone grease. Food grade just to be careful. I have a spare water meter. I have some extra covers for the vents. I have plenty of hose repair, couplings, male, female. I have a spare door for my black tank, but I don't need it because you saw the ammo can. I have a hose for winterizing. You'll notice it's got 2 female ends. I have a spare male in there. Plenty of extra O-rings, a backflow preventer, couple of anchors for 1/2-inch PEX, couple of leashes, plenty of Teflon tape. Speaking of PEX, I have a full PEX kit, and I have a couple of chunks of blue and red hose stored away for an emergency, and plenty of spare inline water filters, and a flex line to go onto our assembly that we had earlier. So, this is the finished product. I got a hoop here where I can put a padlock. I got a lockable ammo can with a good rubber seal, and I'll never have to take my neck off of my sewer pipe, which by the way is brand new, never been used before, which is why I'm not using gloves. Great little hack. Added this Valterra second valve for the black tank for more safety and security. Have the cap leashed, and we put an expandable clamp on it with some rubber to make a gasket just to ensure it doesn't fall off. Really love this for the additional rinse port and the clear window on it, plus good ground clearance. Added these stainless steel spring-loaded covers for our furnace and our hot water tank. Little tricky with the hot water tank because the door has to open and this rim fits flush there. So we used a couple of pop rivets to just set it in there, and if we ever need to remove it, won't be that hard.
So we got good clean power coming into the Watchdog. Our electrician, of course, grumbled about the previous guy's work, but we're good to go.
This is an overview of what we have in our electrical bin right now. A 50 amp plug tester, a 110 indoor AC 12 volt plug tester, an electrical meter. If you don't know how to use this, go to National RV Training Center, a tweeter, a pair of pliers. I have a little bit of spare wire. This is 212, this is 12 volt gauge, and this is 50 amp for emergencies. I've got a couple of lead testers. Again, if you don't know what those are, go to National RV Training Center. I have a spare 7-pin cord for the pin box. Don't ask how that came to be. I have a 110 adapter down from a 50. This is in the efforts of keeping the batteries charged if I'm in storage under shade where the solar's not working. I have a 30 amp step down known as a dog bone. Basically, it goes from the 50 amp where there's 2 hot legs and abandons one. I have a 7-pin plug tester for the truck. I've got a 12 volt tester for the truck, and I have another one in the truck. I have an adapter just in case, and I've got a consumable replacement module for my 50 amp power watchdog. So if I smoke that thing on a bad pedestal because I didn't properly check it or diagnose it, I can get the watchdog back in business. What I don't have that's on its way is a spare 12 volt water pump for the trailer. I'm going to inventory one of those, and a spare motor for the Lippert power jack system. My favorite addition thus far, though, is the griddle cooker hooked up to the remote propane port on the MORryde slide. We shopped for the specific totes that would fit this slide, and we've got plenty of storage space. Magnetic work lights, cordless drills, an emergency go bag. Our gloves we're putting on this side with our paper towels are going here. And a cautionary note, we'll never store this hot or connect it to the LP. We have a quick connect and a shut off under there where this can be stored away safely and securely. And yes, I saw you looking at this. My son thought it was funny to buy me a pink headlamp years ago. Joke's on him. I love this thing because it glows in the dark. I can always see it, and it's got multiple features. Continuing on the punch list, I'm still disappointed that these brackets are so high up in here, precluding the opportunity to put a 40-pound tank. I know a lot of people don't want to lift those, but one of the things that was difficult is this regulator was mounted with these little clamps facing downward so that the regulator was rubbing on the edge of the tank. It was going to lead to premature wear, maybe failure. They left me enough slack in the line that I was able to just flip those little brackets over and raise that enough to get it out of the way. Added gauges for the propane tanks. We do have a manual switchover, not an automatic, and a couple of padlocks just to help keep the honest people honest. We found the perfect size tote for our wet side that we're going to store wet things that we need, including spare hoses. Installed a strap to hold our 16.5-foot telescopic ladder that holds 300 pounds. And we have our spare spikes for our dog panel here. That's the back side of the cargo tray. Thank you, Jim, for recommending I only go with a 60-inch tray that goes one way to protect my access to the back side of the Nautilus closet. It's not a question of if I'll need to be in there, but when. Added a pin lock and a Teflon friction plate under there. Love the remove before flight tag, basically. In the nose, we added the lightest toolbox I could find that was large enough to fit the size for everything that we're going to need. If you want a freeze frame on any one of these drawers, you'll see that we have a very necessary collection of tools without going overboard. And yes, you need this socket. Ask me how I know. I installed a hook with carabiners to hold some extension cords. I have road cones, but I still have plenty of space to work on these jacks when they demand it. Also, my leveling system is fully exposed. We have a 150 psi 12 volt air compressor with enough cord and hose to reach all 10 tires on our rig. Yes, we're a single rear wheel. I'm considering both of the spares. We've added 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries in the stock case. We will be expanding this in the future, so I'm reserving all of this space and the wall space for 40 amp charge controllers, inverters, bus shunts, and the related systems that we need. Keeping the nose light but functional. The dogs love their new enclosure with dual gates, modular, expandable, and collapsible. What we love about this is the 30 by 50 panels work horizontal under the trailer with these clamps and vertical with the factory supplied posts. We added a Harbor Freight cargo rack that's rated for the load that we need. I added some bars here to stabilize our dog pens, and I disassembled an old wood rack and put padding on it to hold our table and our dog panels here. We have a locking pin on it, and I have a bicycle lock to protect the panels. Learned the very hard way that chocks don't work in cinders, they just slide. So we added these X chocks for a level of safety and security. Quick bonus feature, in this little tote under the electrical tote, I'm inventorying disposable gloves. I have some other gloves that came with the dog pen, large clear trash bags. I keep my goof off and my professional Unger window cleaner there because I have a window cleaning kit and an expandable pole. That makes short work of these giant Alliance windows from ground level. Also carry heavy duty disposable gloves. I've got a pair of limb trimmers, lobbers if you will, that can take up to a 2-inch green limb. I also have a small handsaw in the toolbox. And we did a little short on the PVC Schedule 40 pole that we made to go measure our parking spot to make sure we have room to open our slide outs before we even get busy doing. We're starting to add glow-in-the-dark reflective tape everywhere. It's great at night. I want to do what Venturesome Couple did and put some glow-in-the-dark Kid Crocs down here so I can see them better. What a great round of housewarming gifts. We got a great little dish rack that's going to store away when we're not using it. It's going to fit like a glove. We got a magnetic knife strip to install. I love those. We got a great little Black & Decker dustbuster with an extension wand, so it'll actually work in place of a vacuum. But speaking of which, we got a robotic vacuum, who we affectionately call S.M.E. I got a Wusthof knife sharpener, which will be great. Toilet bowl brush and 2-pack set, and then a lovely hot plate, good old-fashioned hot plate for doing some work outside. One of the things I still going to do when I'm in the fifth wheel is canning and other fun cooking. These are all going to come in super handy. We've added some hangers around about. My little pretzel and sausage skull and crossbones are from my good friends in Regensburg, Germany. Nothing but love. Now we have places to hang our jackets and our coats and our dish towels. Added a magnetic knife strip with adhesives and a couple of anchors that fit in the very hollow paneling. Be very careful anytime you make a penetration into a wall. Self-adhesive paper towel holder. 2 weeks and going strong. Speaking of accessories, we've got tote bins and baskets everywhere to stop things from sliding around. Might eat into a little bit of your storage space, but it's going to stop a disaster. And that little camo cooler down there is full of chocolate. I am a baker after all. As we get used to using the 12-volt fridge, storage bins are the name of the game. Stop things from sliding around. So of all the mods that we've done today and additions, the last one I expected was this great little Sparrow. So we were able to get him nice and gentle. And see you, buddy. Sparrow approved. When we travel, we add bungees to the shower doors. We use the factory supplied latch, and we have this custom fit pool noodle cut to hold the door still. I know a lot of people ditch these doors, but I really love them and I want to hang on to them. Went with a toilet paper stand that's velcroed in place, and a hand towel holder that will also double as an anchor point for the bungee to hold the doors shut on travel days. This is Agnes, our cattle dog. We should really just do a channel with her and Junebug. They're the stars of the whole show. We know that. And this is Rosie, our 59 Shasta. This is where we came from. We have plenty of videos on Rosie and talking about her a lot on the channel. She's amazing and we're never going to let her go. But the difference with stepping up to the avenue seems outer worldly sometimes. Thank you so much for tuning in to Yeti at Large. We're very proud of the fact that our little channel grows one subscriber at a time. And we're here for you guys. If there's anything that you want to see, videos with food, projects, communications, current events, historical, investigative reporting, we'll do it. Within limits. So please, share this channel with a friend. Like, hit that subscribe button. Yeti at Large.